you have a cluster of planets in your birth chart and you want to know what the heck does it mean? What does this mean for my career? I am here to help you. The way I ran to answer this comment, it is so good. Let me read it first. It says, so I have no planets in my 10th house, but I have four planets in my 11th house, Sun and Mars in Aquarius, and also Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. Does that stellium leak into my midheaven? This person, for context, has 0 degrees Capricorn midheaven. Let's get into it. This, what I'm going to say here, is going to apply to anyone who has a cluster of planets in any house and wants to know kind of what does that mean and how does that apply to me. A cluster of planets in any sign is called a stellium, as I said here. You could also call a stellium a cluster of planets in multiple signs, but in one house. So you could say, I have a stellium in the 11th, or you could say, I have a stellium in Aquarius. Now, astrologers disagree on how many planets are required to be called a stellium. I like to say 3 or more. That's what I learned. That's what I was taught. It makes sense to me. 3 or more is a stellium. So what does a stellium mean exactly? So a stellium is where there's a concentration of energy. So imagine if you have 3 planets in Aquarius, right? 3 planets in Aquarius means that, you have really strong Aquarius energy. There's a theme going on. You have a lot of innovation energy. You have a lot of desire to serve the community. You also are not like other people. You really want to be unique and different, and you are already. But there may be this kind of driving inner need to showcase that and to embrace that and to love that side of yourself. So this concentration of energy, the planets are really like where all the magic happens in the chart. The planets are where the action is. And so when you've got a bunch of planets all together, that's a lot of action. It's like the 5 of Wands in the tarot. It's like, ooh, like creative chaos. Like all this stuff is like working together, but they're actually working together in harmony for a set purpose to either, kind of move forward that area of your life and make that a major theme of your memoir, or to say, okay, these are some major gifts and talents and skills that you have. Pay attention, you got to use them. So to answer this question specifically, a stellium in the 11th house would say that there is a lot of energy concentrated around your community and networks aspect of your life. And so that means that your community is really important. That means that, finding the right community, divesting yourself of the wrong community, having good boundaries in community, because I see Neptune there, innovating in community because we have Uranus there, taking action and being a leader in community, Sun and Mars. I mean, this is your jam. And so I would anticipate and expect that in your career, absolutely these gifts and talents are going to come out. Even if you have a bunch of a stellium in the 4th house, which is, the nocturnal part of the chart, the more private part of the chart, it's all about home and family. This can still influence your career because we are not just like, oh, this is only our career and this is only our home life. We are our entire chart at all times, day or nights, no matter where we are. So if you have a strong stellium in any house of the chart, you really want to pay attention to that because that means that is probably a place where you have a lot of skills and gifts and talents. And of course, skills and gifts and talents are naturally going to want to come out when we are being of service to others, when we are being seen in the world, when we are being public, no matter where it's happening in the chart. And all of that kind of being seen public, blah, 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 that's all in your career section in the 10th house and the midheaven. So I want to answer the specific question now about, okay, but does it leak into my midheaven? So I wouldn't say it leaks into your midheaven. I wouldn't say that's like the right terminology. I would say it supports the energy of the midheaven. All of your chart is supporting all of the rest of the chart. And so if you have a Capricorn midheaven, that means in your archetype system, you are the pioneer. And so your leadership energy is Capricorn. That is what other people see. It may not always be what you see about yourself, but this is what other people see. It's very magnetic. This is why other people hire you. This is why they want you on their team. This is why they come to you for the answers. They're like, I want this person to like go for it. I want this person to help us to climb the mountain. I want this person to be that ambitious driver of legacy. I want this person to help us move onward and upwards and get that team rallied and going. I mean, pioneer energy. So that's always going to be your leadership energy, is the Capricorn. Where the 10th, 11th house comes in is it's a support. So, and by the way I do this is I have all this skill set over here around innovation and around community that I can then use as a bolster and as a support to my career, my reputation, and my goals out there in the world. So, my advice to you would be absolutely to tap into your inner pioneer and your courageousness in your work, but also always make sure that you're bringing your community with you and you're building community along the way, because that is absolutely how you succeed and how you shine.